Hi guys, this is Teacher Marie, your teacher for today. So welcome to my video, and don't forget to subscribe and click the like button and the notification bell for more videos. So let's proceed to our topic. So our topic for today is all about writing in standard form and finding the values of A, B, and C of the quadratic equation. So our objectives, so we have write the quadratic equation into standard form. Ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Then identify the values of A, B, and C. Okay, before we have our lesson, let us have a short review about quadratic equation. So, as we all know, quadratic equation is in one variable is a mathematical sentence of degree 2. It can be written in standard form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where a, b, and c are real numbers and a is not equal to 0. So here is the standard form of quadratic equation. We have ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Okay, here are the examples that we are going to arrange into standard form. So we have here 5 examples. So let's start with number 1. So first quadratic equation is 3x plus 6x squared equals 0. So the first thing is to write the quadratic term. So the quadratic term is 6x squared. That's why the first term is 6x squared. Then the linear term, what is the linear term? So we have 3x is equal to 0. So here is the standard form of this quadratic equation. Then, let us identify what is the value of a, b, and c. So, a is equal to 6 because of the quadratic term 6x squared. It is the numerical coefficient of the quadratic term, which is positive 6. Then, we have b is equal to 3, positive 3. How about c? C is equal to 0 because there is no constant term. So, if there is a missing term for each given quadratic equation, so it will become 0. Next, number 2. So, number 2 example is 5 plus 7x squared is equal to 9x. So, the first term should be 7x squared, the quadratic term. Then, we have 9x, so we are going to transpose 9x on the other side of the equation, so it will become negative 9x. Then the constant term, which is positive 5, equals 0. So our quadratic equation, 7x squared minus 9x plus 5 equals 0, where a is equal to 7, the numerical coefficient of the quadratic term. Then b is equal to negative 9 because the numerical coefficient of the linear term is negative 9. So we should copy the operation before the number. Then we have c is equal to positive 5, which is the constant term. Okay, let us proceed to number 3. We have 4x plus 8x squared plus 6 is equal to 0. So the first term, the quadratic term, we have 8x squared. Then we have the linear term, we have 4x, so that is why it is plus 4x. Then we have the constant term, which is positive 6. So our quadratic equation in standard form is 8x squared plus 4x plus 6 is equal to 0. Where a is equal to 8, b is equal to positive 4, and c is equal to positive 6. Then, number 4 example, we have 6x squared plus 5 is equal to negative 7x. So, the first term, we have 6x squared, the quadratic term. Then, let us proceed to the linear term, which is the negative 7x. When we transpose it on the other side of the equation, it will become positive 7x. Then we have the last term, we have the constant term plus 5 equals 0. So let us identify what is the value of each a, b, and c. So a is equal to 6, b is equal to 7, and c is equal to 5. Okay, let us proceed to the last example. We have 9 minus x plus 2x squared is equal to 0. So the quadratic term, we have 2x squared. The linear term, we have negative x. Then we have the constant term, which is positive 9 is equal to 0. So our quadratic equation, 2x squared minus x plus 9 equals 0. Then let us identify what are the values or what is the values of a, b, and c. So a is equal to 2 because the numerical coefficient of the quadratic term is positive 2. Then b is equal to negative 1 because the numerical coefficient of the linear term is negative 1. And then the final or the constant term or c is equal to positive 9. So that's all for now. Thank you for watching and God bless.